podium in the last 4 races in race 1 today. Can he back that up with another one in race 2?
He's looking to add his name to the winners list. Matteo Ferrari is 5th on the grid. 6th on the grid is Jordi Torres. Down to you, El.
Jordi, how are you feeling ahead of this one? Just missed out on that podium fight in race 1, but you're looking good, looking confident.
Yeah, we'll see now because the temperatures are changed. We have less sun, but it's more hot. Maybe the tarmac got less hot, but we'll see. But for sure, we have more or less the same pace during the race. It's difficult to overtake, but we'll see. For sure, we are here to battle, to show some spectacle, but we'll see what happens.
Have a good one, Jordi.
Thank you.
Jordi Torres completing that second row of the grid, and he battled hard. He says he wants to do it again in race 2. Well, he just needs to replicate what he was able to come away with in race 1. He was a hard charger.
He was indeed, and it was a little bit of a cagey affair, I feel, Kiko, in race 1. You got the impression that so many riders were so cautious of making a mistake that they really didn't want to do anything too risky. Jordi Torres was saying it was quite difficult to overtake, and we didn't see a great load of overtaking in the lead fight, even if there were 8 riders covered by just over 2 seconds, as we see Jordi in discussion with the FIM president Jorge Villegas and Nico Tirol coming over to give him some last-minute words of encouragement and good luck. Jordi has been here before, done that, won 2 Moto E World Championships while he's been at it at this very track as well.
He loves this place, does Jordi Torres, and he was a real firecracker out of the blocks earlier on. We will be having a look on the 3rd row in a moment, I'm sure, but this is Mattia Cassidy down in 10th, and I've got to say, Mattia Cassidy and Lorenzo Baldassari, you got the impression they were riding on eggshells a little bit in race 1. They both knew they could not make a mistake, and that kind of just neutralised any potential fight we saw from both of them.
Yeah, really disappointing result for Cassidy and for Baldassari. They both got away to a pretty good start and were locked onto the back of that lead group, but as Kiko said, they didn't really make any movement forward from there. 9th and 10th, the pair of them, and they didn't really have the pace either of the lead pair, but they did miss out on a good chunk of their respective qualifying sessions yesterday, and you wonder whether they were just trying to get some experience in the bank, build up their confidence again before attacking in race 2. But to be honest, I think that's quite an optimistic view of it. It will be tough for them to be in the podium fight in this room.
And for Lorenzo Baldassari, he started a row further back. Is it now just a matter of just leave the brain in the garage and just go for it, block out all the problems he's had this weekend?
I don't know. I mean, you have to think of the championship. He'll want to go to Portimao, obviously, in what, a month's time, to try and have a chance there, and it hasn't worked out for him so far this weekend. Maybe Portimao can be a different chapter.
We're having a look at Hector Garza, who's at the head of the 3rd row, ahead of Kevin Zanoni, who was up inside the top 6 earlier on, and Alessio Finello completes it back down to the grid. El, what have you got?
I'm with Jürgen Ling, Intact GP boss. Jürgen, how did Lorenzo debrief after race 1?
Yeah, it was quite interesting. He was not so happy with the bike. We made a small change. He had a lack of rear grip, and I hope we can help him a bit for the 2nd race. It's super difficult if you cannot start from the front rows, but he will try his best, and he said after the warm-up lap the bike feels good, so we are looking forward, but we know it's going to be a tough race.
And just on Hector, he was in that podium fight, just missed out. What does he need a little bit extra of in race 2 to really fight for that podium?
No, he was quite good. I think a bit better start could help. The pace was there, the speed. He got a block pass in the last lap. That can happen, but he has the speed and everything. I think both need a good start and then a good pace, but the pace will be there, as I suppose.
Thank you, Jürgen.
You're welcome.
It's an interesting point he raises there. Hector Garza, of course, looking to try and convert it and get on the podium. Eric Granado, likewise, he goes from pole position. The 2nd race of the Red Bull Grand Prix of San Marino and the Rimini Riviera in Moto E. Eric Granado going from a 2nd consecutive pole. Alessandro Zacconi on that front row looking to double up. Andrea Mantovani still in the title race, completing that front row. We've gone all the way through the front 3 rows. We've seen Mattia Cassidy, Luca Bernardi and Jacopo Hoschuk completing that 4th row. Balda on the 3rd row, just ahead of Oscar Gutierrez and Maria Herrera. Tibor Eric Vargas Varga, Raffaele Fusco and Tommaso Occhi rounding it all out. We'll have another warm-up lap for the Moto E second race. That's a new addition here, just to allow a little bit more time to get that front tyre working and making sure nobody causes too many unnecessary incidents through the first couple of corners here at Misano, which are real pinch points. But you're joining myself, Kiko Giles, Neil Morrison alongside me, Elliot Yorker, so we've heard down in pit lane. Neil, we have got 7 laps of this Moto E race to go, and this one, you have a feeling there's a long break after this until we get back to 40 now in the title decider. This one matters. This is a big point scoring round. It's a good opportunity to go into this break with momentum.
Yeah, I just said it was a 1-month break. It's actually a 2-month break until we get to the final round in Portimao. So everyone will want to absolutely make sure they get a great result on the book so they can go into that final round with some hopes still of securing the championship. I really do think that we're going to see something quite similar to race 1 with a big gaggle of 7 or 8 riders up at the front. That is the kind of nature of Moto E racing around here at this Misano circuit, and I guess it's roundabout now where I have to ask you, Kiko, who are you choosing?
Well, I got it all wrong in the opening race. I am going to go Nicola Spinelli here, Neil. I think there's a win coming. He's been P2 3 times out of the last 4 races, so I'm going to go for the number 29. I'll give you some extra time to decide who you would like, because it is only fair. We go down to pit lane. Al, predictions?
Thank you kindly. I'm going to go for Zacconi to double up. He said in part Ferme, didn't he, that he wasn't at full 100% push mode, so I think in race 2 he's going to go for the win again and grab it.
Neil?
I think they're 2 really good shots. I'm going to go with Matteo Ferrari. He was fastest in practice yesterday and didn't quite have the rub of the green earlier on. Qualified 5th, finished 5th. I think he'll have it within himself to actually make a little bit of ground up in these races here. So yeah, I'm going to go with Ferrari for race 2 victory.
So that means Eric Granado is going to take victory and prove us all wrong, and we're the experts. Never a good move that. Neil, quickly, if you're Balder, if you're Cassidy, how do you approach this one?
Try and be clean for the first couple of corners, latch onto the back of the lead group, and then try and make overtakes where you can.
I think that is exactly what they're going to need to do. They have got to stay clean. That is the first challenge here in Moto E. The green flag is waved at the back. We are going to have lights on, and when we have lights out, Moto E is on, and we are into it. And again, it's Granado and Alessandro Zacconi head-to-head down towards turn 1. Keep an eye on Mantovani coming through from 3rd on that grid, but he can't just quite get ahead of Eric Granado. He's on the outside at turn 2. Another very solid start though for Alessandro Zacconi, converting that middle of the front row star. Eric Granado has a moment coming through turn 3, and that is a big bit of contact between Spinelli. Ferrari is coming through as well. We're out of our seat up here in commentary just as much as Eric Granado was out of his seat a couple of times coming through turns 2 and 3, but we're all safely through despite a little bit of shoulder rubbing and tyre smoking. Zacconi leads towards turn 8.
Goodness me, Eric Granado really got away with one just there. He had his rear tagged by Nicola Spinelli. That has cost Spinelli a couple of places. He's back down into 5th as Ferrari goes up, and you can see it's been a decent start for Baldassarri, who's jumped up ahead of Cassidy. He's in 9th.
Baldassarri has absolutely flown through. I think he's ahead of Jordi Torres as well. Balda's up to 8th place. Cassidy is only 10th as it gets tight again. This time between Ferrari and Spinelli. These 2 are going to go bar to bar all the way down this back straight, but I think Ferrari has just held it. Yes, he has. He's in 4th. Very, very strong start indeed, even though it was a bit of a misdemeanor coming through turn 3 for Eric Granado. Has held that P2, and that's vital in the context of this title.
Torres.
Oh, Jordi Torres. Well, he said he wanted to have a go and have a scrap. Well, he's going to have a scrap at a gravel trap. That is out on lap 1. We have seen it so many times in 2025. Tyre temperature vital. Jordi Torres is down and out, and that is a mathematical opportunity in this title race done. And someone else was down and out in the background of shot, Neil, at turn 15, but we'll pick that up in a moment.
Yeah, not exactly sure who that was. That's another place for Cassidy to gain as he jumps up into 9th place. Baldassarri, the big gainer on lap 1, gained 5 positions overall. It was Tibor Eric Varga that had a crash down to turn 15. That was a good spot, Kiko. That escaped my eyesight. And back at the front, Eric Granado has managed to reel Alessandro Zacconi right in up at the front.
Don't worry, most things escape my eyesight, as you will soon see in the next 5 or so laps as they come through turns 5 and 6. Eric Granado looks like he wants a fight here. He is looking very, very anticipative of a mistake from Zacconi here. I've got to say, Granado and is looking towards the inside. Zacconi didn't ride. Oh no!
Mantovani.
And Mantovani has skittled Nicola Spinelli. Oh, after all the hard work from earlier on, well, we were talking about a mistake at the front from Alessandro Zacconi, and in the end, Andrea Mantovani has taken down through no fault of his own Nicola Spinelli. It was almost unfortunate that Nicola Spinelli was picking the bike up to try and avoid Mantovani, and he ended up riding into him. Such a shame. Down and out on lap 2 at turn 8.
Yeah, Spinelli really did not deserve that. It's just not been his race after that early contact with Eric Granado on lap 1 and then being taken down. He did nothing wrong there, tried to take avoiding action, but was collected by Mantovani's bike as he slid out at turn 8. There are 2 Italian names now out of the championship picture.
So 7 becomes 5, more or less, or does it? Let's see what we've got left in the locker here. Moto E race 2. Oh, Granado riding a curve. I was just about to say, Granado was looking like he wants to clear Alessandro Zacconi here and lean from the front. We saw Zacconi have a pretty clean race early on, but he wasn't disturbed, and sometimes you need a little bit of fighting just to keep you on your toes here. So Eric Granado knows that he's got to try and clear the number 61 if he can. Your shout there, Matteo Ferrari there in 3rd nil, and Hector Garzo, your reigning world champion, who is still mathematically in contention, there in 4th. But that is a disaster. Nicola Spinelli, I'm sorry I cursed you. Down at turn 8. Neil, talk us through what happened. This is the Jordi Torres incident. He's offline, isn't he, behind Balder? I can tell you, Andrea Mantovani is back up on his wheels. And this is down into Tibor Eric Vargas, turn 15 fall. I'm going to presume he lost the front, although he looks like he was a little bit angry with someone else. And then this is Mantovani, and Nicola Spinelli was already wide. He was having his own incident, wasn't he? He was already wide and rides into the number 9.
Yeah, a real shame for those 2 riders then. As we pick it back up with the leaders at the front, you can see there is a lead group of 4 that is broken away from Kevin Zanoni in 5th. We have Zacconi, Granado, Ferrari and Garzo going for it, and Garzo was 0.3 of a second faster than the leader the last time around. And look at this from Baldassari and Casadei, 2 of the riders that we had written off pretty much before this race start. Not exactly out of the mix there in 6th and 7th.
Now there's plenty of life left in this one. All Garzo having a look at the inside of Matteo Ferrari, but not this time around. I'll tell you what, I'm interested to see the lap times here coming in from Balder and Casadei. Let's take Garzo. Sorry, Granado up the inside. Oh, where's that ended up? Granado forces his way through. There's a big bump at the entry into turn 1, and Granado definitely rode through it, and he bumped his way through Zacconi. So Granado hits the front ahead of Alessandro Zacconi. Matteo Ferrari now trying to pounce as well, while Zacconi is being squeezed. And does he yield? Oh, front tyre versus rear tyre. There's normally only one winner there. Somehow they both stay up, and Hector Garzo will get there in a minute. Talking about the number 1, he's right there, ready to pick up the pieces. I can tell you, Baldassari and Casadei, personal best laps last time around, and are right in this group now.
I'll tell you what, Eric Granado is making me slightly nervous. He's had a couple of scary moments in this race so far, and I thought he had lost the front on the bumps into turn 1. Somehow he magically managed to save it, and thank goodness he did, because if he hadn't, he would have taken Alessandro Zacconi down with him. But as it is, the Brazilian now has a lead of 0.2 of a second, and now we're going to see exactly what Zacconi has. Was he just trying to slow the pace down up at the front there and save his tyre for a final attack, or was he actually in a bit of trouble? We're going to see in the next couple of laps.
We are indeed. Matteo Ferrari is the rider who is still there in 3rd place at the moment and a half there for Zacconi. Ferrari is blocked. Garzo's going around the outside. That might put him on the inside for turn 15, but not this time. He wasn't quite there. Zanoni is right behind Garzo here. This is getting really, really tasty and feisty at the front again. Garzo looking to try and push his way through at the last corner. I tell you what, if it's the last lap, Garzo is coming through whichever way he likes. Down across the line. 3 laps to go. Granado still leads. Oh, Ferrari with a big moment. Somehow manages to gather it all up, but he has got Hector Garzo worried. I think Garzo would rather be ahead of Matteo Ferrari at this point. Yeah,
and obviously the pace up at the front is really slow as a result of all of this fighting. Casadei was around 0.7 faster as Ferrari jumps under Zacconi, sorry, down at turn number 4. Zacconi's going to go back under.
Oh, does he? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does not. Oh, Zacconi warrioring that one out there.
He's up for this.
That was gladiatorial. Oh, the grass. He's going grass tracking. What about that? Hector Garzo called him Flymo. Brilliant stuff.
And here
Look, that's Cassidy. He's up into 5th place as well. He's got ahead of Kevin Zanoni. And look at it. Any line will do. It's like a lorry out there.
It is indeed. I was just about to say Cassidy was 6/10 faster than the leader the last time around. He's making real progress now. Up into 5th. He's got his mojo back.
And Ferrari's got his P2 back. He is at last dismissed Alessandro Zacconi. I tell you what, Moto, are you sure you want to scrap it? This is brilliant stuff. Through Carone. That comes Zanoni. That's back on Cassidy. So those two are locking horns over 5th and 6th. Zanoni, this is breathless stuff. As I'm sure you can tell, we're coming through turn 13 into 14. Cassidy having a look, but
Garzo.
That's another one, and that is the number one. Hector Garzo down and out at turn 14, and I've got to say, Neil, from race 1, that has been coming.
Yeah, that just sums up Hector Garzo's championship defence. Nothing really has gone right for the Spaniard and the number one this year, which means we are whittled down to a lead group of 6 as we come across the line. Hector Garzo has his lead up to 0.3 of a second, and let's see what Matteo Ferrari can do in these final 2 laps. He's got a little bit of clear track up ahead. Zacconi is struggling to stay up with his compatriot, and it looks as though Ferrari is reeling in the Brazilian of Eric Granado up ahead.
Where's he going to make the pass, though? You know he's going to have a go somewhere. This is the battle as well in the title race. Cassidy versus Balder. They're coming through turns 4 and 5. Zanoni it is who's occupying that 4th place.
Oh, and Granado has a big moment coming out of turn 6. Sorry to cut over you there, Kiko,
right.
but the Brazilian on the curbs had it all crossed up, and you can see Ferrari is about to take advantage of that. Is he going to go around the outside?
No, not this time. Cassidy's up the inside, though. Someone else, the RET machine, does move up into P4, and that puts a place between Cassidy and Baldassari. Oh, look at Ferrari. That's going up the inside of Tremonto, and he gets that done. Really nice move there. Doesn't cost either himself or Eric Granado too much time, but yeah, Granado, as you said, Neil, big moment coming out of turn 6, and that cost him all his speed, but he's coming back. This is Cavone. Hold your breath, and that is one of the passes of the year. Eric Granado is still in this title fight, and he is still willing to lay it all down on the line, ahead of Matteo Ferrari as they come through down towards turn 14. Oh, Constantine is all right up here. 10-wheeler at the front, and Lorenzo Baldassari is just tagging off at the back now of this lead group. I tell you what, if anything goes wrong, Balda will be right there. But we are coming down towards the last corner for the penultimate time of asking, and we have got Eric Granado who leads the way. He's trying to break the slipstream as they come down the straight. Matteo Ferrari there in second, keeping on Zacconi, Cassidy and Zanoni, who complete the top 5. Cassidy into turn 1 a bit hot, but he gathers it up.
Yeah, Cassidy again 0.6 faster than Eric Granado up in the front. Keep your eye on number 40 on this last lap. I think he's going to attack Alessandro Zacconi down into turn 4. If he gets a decent run here, he's maybe just a bit too far back, and look at the bikes moving as they break down in towards this turn 4 hairpin. Granado just about staying ahead as of the moment, but he looks like he is right on the ragged edge.
Yeah, he looks like he's struggling for grip here, Neil. I've got to say, Eric Granado doesn't look at one with the bike either. Down across turn 7, it's already taken as 1, but Granado riding a very defensive race at the moment. Cassidy through into P3 for the moment. Zacconi is trying to come through. That's so important for the title there. Mattia Cassidy is looking to try and take points out of your championship leader, and at the moment Cassidy is doing so. We're at Tremonto. Let's take one big deep breath and go for it through the final couple of sectors. Granado it is who leads. Matteo Ferrari. Ferrari is in the slipstream. Anything you can do, I will do better. And that is a repeat of what we saw a lap ago. Did Ferrari go on the green? No, I think he was all right. Ferrari leads then through turn 13. Granado, you know what's coming. He's going to let the brakes off if he can, but he can't. Good move from Matteo Ferrari. Boxing clever then through 14. The short burst through 15. It's all about corner speed through here, and if you have got a chance to make a pass into the last corner, you can maybe get it done. Eric Granado couldn't. Matteo Ferrari is going to lead them to the line. Is he going to lead over the line? Yes, he is. Matteo Ferrari gets the victory at home for the Grassini Racing team. Eric Granado a fine second, and Mattia Cassidy from 10th on the grid comes good for P3. Zacconi, your championship leader, loses points to Cassidy. Zanoni 5th. Balder comes through from 13th to complete your top half dozen. What a Moto E race. That is a classic, and the title race goes to Portugal, and we're still none the wiser of who is the favourite for this one.
Yeah, there'll be a few names less in the championship fight going into the final round, but what a race that was. Kiko, you absolutely called it right. One of the races of the season without question in Moto E. How close do you like your racing? The top 5 riders in the championship this year, covered by just over 0.7 of a second, and Matteo Ferrari with a brilliant race-winning overtake through Carvoni on the final lap. What a way to win your home Grand Prix and to properly get yourself back in the championship after the disappointment of Barcelona 1 week ago.
Fantastic stuff from Matteo Ferrari. That is how you win a Moto E race. That is how it's done. Eric Granado perhaps shooting his shot a bit too early at Carvoni on the penultimate lap, and I think Matteo Ferrari would have been wise to that and would have thought, you know what, on the last lap I might just do the same to you. The thing is here at Misano, turn 14 is where you want to be leading, and Matteo Ferrari was so intelligent down there, blocked the line. He didn't need to go ultra defensive, he just needed to park his bike exactly where Eric Granado wanted to be. He did just that, and a very fine defensive ride from your eventual race winner. Eric Granado still in title contention, takes 7 points out of Alessandro Zacconi's championship lead, and I reckon he is now just 18 back and within striking distance as we go to Portugal.
Yeah, the championship has taken so many swings and turns here at Misano. Zacconi will take a 5-point lead into the final round ahead of this rider here. What a ride that was from Casadei, coming through from 10th up into 3rd. He was absolutely charging late on, no doubt helped by some of the scrapping up ahead, but he took full advantage of that. A brilliant recovery ride from the former world champion. He is just 5 points back off the championship summit, and with Ferrari and Baldassarri 12 points behind, we've got 4 riders with a really realistic chance of lifting the Moto E World Championship trophy above their heads in Portugal in November.
We still have mathematically 7 riders in it, but really it is mathematical only for Nicolas Spinelli and Andrea Mantovani. They are a bit far away. Eric Granado not so. He's 18 points away. Look at that. That is the big moment coming through turn 6, Neil, as you said, but look at Granado's reaction, straight away defensive and just holds on.
Yeah, absolutely. This was on the last lap, and to be honest, I think it's a brilliant job that Granado made it to the checkered flag, because he was right on the ragged edge throughout that race. So many moments when I thought he's going down here, and he managed to just about bring it back. But this was the overtake that won the race for Matteo Ferrari, an overtake fit to win any race into Carvoni. That takes some serious bravery.
It takes some serious minerals as well, I believe. Eric Granado did that to him earlier on in the race. Al, what a race. Some thoughts from you down in pit lane?
Yeah, Matteo's just come into pit lane. There's the big Grassini/Matteo Ferrari fan club one level above the garages here, and every overtake that Matteo was making, there was screams and shouts and jubilation from there, which is great seeing. He's just come into pit lane. Don't know if you can see it on your screens, I don't think you can, and did a massive burnout as well. A fantastic victory, a special one, of course, for Grassini on home turf.
That's one way to get heat into the Moto E Michelins, that's for sure. But what about it? What about it? Matteo Ferrari, after all of the drama at the start of this year, moves into P3 in the championship standings. There's Nadia Padovani, the team owner there, down there to congratulate him. He's only 12 points off, Neil. You could not write this Moto E script in 2025.
Yeah, and incredibly, that's his 7th victory in Moto E at this Misano World Circuit. He won races here in 19, 20, 21 and 22, as well as now 2025, and he's got himself back into the championship picture while he's at it.
And I make it's his 4th win from P5 on the grid, so maybe Matteo Ferrari qualifying middle of the 2nd row, he'll sign for it at the start of the weekend. There's the celebrations. Look at Matteo Ferrari and Eric Granado. They really did lock horns, and you can see the celebrations down there. Matteo Casadei, he'll just be relieved to have got to the end of that one. It was a dramatic qualify for him, but P3 nonetheless.
I think that's a certain Kevin Schwantz watching on just in the back of our shot. It is indeed just behind Elliot York, and I wonder what the 1993 500cc world champion made of that. I'm sure Kevin would have loved to have been right in the middle with his elbows out.
I did see him have a bottle of water there. If he doesn't mind just whizzing that round to the comms box with a defibrillator, that would be greatly appreciated. What about it? There is just no words to describe Moto E in 2025. It has been absolutely fantastic. all the way through this. It's been a real roller coaster season, and it is fitting that the last ever Moto-E World Championship will go to the last round of the year. Kevin Schwantz, your 1993 500cc world champion, MotoGP legend and Hall of Famer. He really is enjoying motorcycle racing here at Misano of all kinds, and particularly Moto-E. That would have definitely got his attention, and I am sure, as you could see, he is as popular as ever, but I am sure he would like to come and see the finale in Portugal in a couple of months' time.
Yeah, let's make it happen. I mean, there was a brilliant race too in Barcelona a week ago, Kiko, but I think that was the best Moto-E race of the year so far, just in terms of drama and the championship picture changing lap on lap. Goodness me, it's just as well we've got 2 months to get our breath back for the final round of the year.
Yeah, I might be going to have another lie down in the medical centre now. I'm going to start to call them on first name terms if we carry on like this throughout 2025. What a fantastic end to Sprint Saturday then, and we are going to get ready to hear from the podium, and let's start in P3. He came from the 4th row of the grid. Mattia Casadei is only 5 points off the championship lead. Remarkable.
Mattia, 4th row of the grid to the podium. That felt like a fantastic ride. You must be pleased with that, and to close back in on the championship as well is really important.
Yeah, it's really important. I want this, and this morning we struggled a little bit, but in my mind I don't give up, and this is the result for the team and for me, and now we can only push to the maximum for in Portimao for bring at home this championship, and I'm very happy to do the podium here in Misano because it's my home race, and I love this circuit. The atmosphere is amazing. It's since 2019 for my first year in Moto-E that I do podium here, and it's amazing. I'm very happy.
Great ride, Mattia, well done.
Thank you.
Mattia Casadei is still in this title fight, Neil. 5 points between himself and Alessandro Zacconi, and this was a big podium to take off Alessandro as well.
Yeah, massive moment to overtake for 3rd place on the last lap on Zacconi, because he obviously deprived his compatriot of 4 points, and gave those 4 extra points to himself as well into the bargain. So an amazing performance, and while it might not be a race win, definitely one of his best performances of the year.
And it really was a fine day for LCRE team. One of the best performances of the year for Mattia Casadei, coming from 10th. Eric Granado, pole and P2, and still in championship contention.
Eric, so close to the win. What a battle with Matteo and the others out there. You must be pretty pleased with that, of course, and helpful for the championship as well, heading to Portimao. Talk us through it.
Yes, it was a crazy race. I understand a lot in the race 1 what I need to do in race 2. To be honest, I was too cautious, to don't mistakes in the first race, especially in the first laps, and I've lost the gap to Zacconi, and then I fighted a lot with Mantovani, and now in the race 2 I say, no, I need to be more focused in the first laps, warm up the tire well and put my rhythm, and I did that. I tried my maximum from the first to the last lap. I had a little mistake on turn 6. Unfortunately, I arrived on the curb with too much angle, and then the bike moved. I have lost some time there. Maybe I had a little gap on this moment that I could take it to the end, but finally Matteo overtook me in the last lap. I tried the maximum in the last 4 corners, but it was not possible. He did a great race, so it was a nice battle. So I'm so happy with this result. Race 1, I was a little bit disappointed, but now I did my maximum. The 2nd position was the best, so I take it, and we go for the last race that for sure will be amazing. And as always, I need to say in português, foi uma corrida muito disputada. Eu aprendi muito na corrida 1, o que eu tinha que fazer na corrida 2, o que faltou para mim. Fui um pouco mais decidido no começo da prova. Assumi a liderança, tentei colocar meu ritmo. Infelizmente tive um pequeno erro na curva 6, eu cheguei na zebra um pouquinho inclinado demais, a moto balançou e eu perdi a pequena distância que eu tinha. Mas tá bom, fiz o meu máximo, tentei o máximo que eu pude defender ali com o Matteo, com o Ferrari, mas ele fez uma corrida muito boa também, o nível tá muito alto e é isso aí, bora pra última etapa, fazer o máximo e finalizar aí do melhor possível. É isso aí, obrigado pela torcida, tamo junto, valeu.
Great job, Eric.
Thank you.
Well done to Eric Granado, P2 and P1 in terms of the length of interviews we've had in Parc-Fermé all year, but Eric Granado, look at this, he was absolutely bouncing through up the inside. This was to take the lead earlier on in the race. As you said, Neil, he was lucky not to lose the front and skittle the pair of them there, but P2 at the checkered flag is something that Eric Granado, the Brazilian, will take home back to Brazil and back to Barcelona, of course, where he is. But Matteo Ferrari Ferrari has delivered the goods. He moves into third in the championship after his latest victory.
Matteo, it's safe to say you love it here at Mazzano. The home crowd loved it. What a battle with Eric as well. What an overtake for the victory. That must feel pretty special.
Yeah, super special this victory, because in race 1 I tried to do my best, but at the beginning I struggled a little bit with the grip on the rear, so I was 7 and it was difficult to overtake. In race 2 we did a really great job, because from yesterday we tried to find something on the bike, and in race 2 we did it. So thank you a lot to my team, because every time they continue to work, and in this category it's very difficult to make the difference. So in this race we did a fantastic job. Really great battle with Eric, a lot of overtakes in the Curvone with this bike is crazy to enter into, so respectful, super happy about this, and now we think to Portimao.
Go enjoy it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Ciao, guys.
He's thinking in Portimao. He's thinking in trying to take the title. Neil, talk us through this pass, because a lap before I'd said that it was overtake of the season for Eric Granado. Matteo Ferrari, well, he's put his money where his mouth is there. Brilliant move.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Just got super drive coming out of Tremonto, and you feel that Eric Granado was maybe just struggling with rear tire life right at the end. And Ferrari was actually alongside him and up ahead by the time they were turning in. Granado knew that he could not turn in any further, as there was a Gresini bike just to his right. But Gresini team, goodness me, have they had a season across all the categories. And yet again, just proving their worth. Some fantastic shots there. Look at Zacconi on the inside of the curve at Curvone.
I hope we haven't just shot Alessandro Zacconi for going on the green, you know, there. I know they won't be looking necessarily on the inside. It's normally just on the outside. But Zacconi, if they find that maybe he was able to defend his position because of that, he might be in a little bit of trouble, your championship leader there.
It's a good shot. Might need to see another replay of that just to confirm, but there's been nothing that's come up on our screens just yet. We know that those up in race direction that cover that are absolutely on top of it. If it did happen, I'm sure we would have known by now. Zacconi still 4th in our timing screens, and he'll be disappointed, won't he, Kiko, not to have finished on the podium there, but still leading the championship by 5 points, coming away from this penultimate round of the season. Not bad going for Zacconi.
Not bad at all, but it's just like we were saying in the build-up, Neil. Zacconi has struggled to replicate what he's been able to do in race 1 over in race 2. For Matteo Casadei, I bet he can't believe where he's ended up at the end of this weekend. He was a joint championship leader. He's now 2nd, but only 5 points back, having dropped it in qualifying. Eric Granado is 5th in the championship race and still able to have a very good say here in all of this. And then we haven't spoke about him, but he is tied in 3rd place with Matteo Ferrari, your race winner, who is about to make his way to the podium, Lorenzo Baldassari. This really could go any way. I tell you what, I wouldn't like to be in the content creation for Moto E, because there's going to be a few assets being delivered over the next few weeks. That you can be sure of.
Yeah, absolutely. As Ferrari takes to the top step off the podium, Nicolo Trevisan, Ducati Moto E warehouse manager, handing out the trophy for 3rd place to Matteo Casadei. That podium will taste extra sweet, having come from 10th on the grid. Andrea Albani, the managing director of the Mazzano World Circuit, hands Eric Granado the trophy for 2nd. What a comeback it's been for him in 2025.
He really could just park it now, and you've got to say, Eric Granado, from that accident he had back at Le Mans, has been absolutely standout in 2025, bounce back from injury. But it's Matteo Ferrari who they are all chasing today, and for the 2nd time today in Moto E, we will have the Italian national anthem. Neil, we go to Portimao in 2 months' time, and somehow we are going to end up with a Moto E World Champion. 33 points covering the top 7. It can still go 7 riders' ways. It's absolutely incredible.
It really is. It is turning into one of the best Moto E World Championships that we've ever had, and pretty fitting considering we're buying out in November in Portugal.
We are going out with a bang, that is for certain, and you will be able to follow all of the Moto E action very, very soon indeed, coming up in Portugal on the 7th to the 9th of November. We're looking through the results just outside the top 9. We got outside the top 6. We got down to Baldassarre, Gutierrez, Hosjuk, Bernardi. Finello completed that top 10. Herrera, a strong ride in 11th. Fusco, Occhi, Mantovani did stay out and get some points. So who knows how important those two could be at the end of 2025 in a couple of months' time. Your rider standings, well, we've spoken a lot about it, but it is remarkable. Zacconi and Casadei split by 5, 12 points and locked together on 148. It is down there for Ferrari and Baldassarre. They are 12 points behind each. Granado hanging on there in 5th. Spinelli and Mantovani, mathematical chances, 6th and 7th. Your team standings, well, the LCRE team have now got one hand on that championship trophy. They are within striking distance next time out at Portimao, and they'll be looking to try and make it work in Portugal. Wow, what about it? Moto E is just delivered in spades once again, and we will be back in the first weekend of November, the first full week of November, to do it all over again and have our title showdown. But until then, please do enjoy the rest of the San Marino GP from myself, Kiko Giles, Neil Morrison in comms alongside me, and Elliot York somewhere down in pit lane. Goodbye.